I am so sorry again. I have no idea what's going on with YouTube. I do know that when people are trying to text me and I'm live, that it can be very annoying because it cuts the live stream and you guys hear all this vibrating and stuff in the background. So I had to restart my phone because I thought maybe it's my phone. Maybe my phone is why I can't do a live stream on YouTube. Anyway, it's okay. It's Monday morning, and that's just part of the Monday morning chaos. I'm Melanie, aka Princess Ninja, aka the Keto Critic, and I'm going to be doing a couple things today. I am running a little late with my video this morning, but I have a cardiologist appointment at 8 o'clock. So I'm only going to be on here probably about 15 or 20 minutes. I just want to show you a little bit about my morning routine because normally when you see my videos, I'm out walking, which I'm going to do too. So if I grab my phone and I start doing laps in the house, I'm not trying to get all sweaty and be up in the doctor's this morning. So, but I will get some walking done. So because you guys are getting to see me first in the morning, I want to first tell you that I have my black coffee going. Okay, so let's go to yesterday. Yesterday, I completed a 22-hour and 23-minute fast. Good morning, Deb. Do you prefer Debbie, Deborah, or Deb? If you want to answer below so I can see that. I always feel weird just like making up a random name for someone. Like, well, because you're keto for Deb, I felt comfortable calling you Deb. And then I'm like, no, maybe I need to ask her. Because everybody calls me Mel, and I'm okay with that. Um, Deborah or Deb. Okay, so Deb will be easy for me to remember, so I don't mess your name up. Well, good morning, and thank you for coming to the live stream. So yesterday I did a. Okay, so let's. I have been trying to do a 24-hour fast forever, and I have made huge strides towards that goal, towards that fasting goal. Number one, because when I first started keto, I don't even think I'm fully fat adapted yet. And from what I understand, people with my severity of insulin resistance and my level of metabolic issues, it can take a year for my body to fully just heal itself enough to where it functions like it should, living a ketogenic lifestyle. Now, while I am seeing a lot of the weight loss benefits and I'm seeing my body shrink more and more every day, I have still not been able to complete a 24-hour fast. Once again, just to summarize, what used to happen is if I went longer than 12 hours, so let's say I woke up in the morning, 6 o'clock, I ate dinner at 6 o'clock the night before keto, I was starving. I was starving. I mean, the minute that I woke up, I was starving. My blood sugar was like through the freaking roof, 140, 150, which is really high for a 12-hour fasted blood sugar. That's really high. So I would be starving. I would wake up and just like cannot wait to eat. So I'd grab my cup of coffee and I'd throw me some sugar and cream in there. This is before keto. And then I'd grab myself a breakfast sandwich or scramble me up some eggs and sausage and cheese and whatever. And then out the door I would go. 2 hours later, I'd be hungry again. My stomach would be grumbling. I'd grab a handful of nuts. 2 hours later, because I was living the life that the doctors recommended, eat small meals, 1 to 200 calories, 4 to 6 times a day to keep your blood sugar up, right? Because that's what I thought I was supposed to be doing. Well, anyway, so when I started keto, I was only able to go from dinner to breakfast. And so I was still doing like a 12 or 13-hour fast, but anything after that, and I'd start shaking, I'd get cold sweats, I'd feel like all icky, hypoglycemic. Even though my blood sugars were still around 100, I would start feeling that way. And I don't know if it was just a visceral reaction, my body just like having this memory that, hey, wait a minute, you were feeding me 4 to 6 times and it was rebelling. I'm not sure what the medical reason behind that. However, I have seen a couple videos on YouTube by Dr. Eric Berg and by Dr. Jason Fung, explaining how you can still have high blood sugars and have a hypoglycemic reaction. So, but I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't translate what they were talking about. So then when I fast forward into when I first started fasting, I started in 14 hours. So I just pushed breakfast up a couple hours. I ate dinner. My goal was to eat by 6 o'clock in the evening. I would get to work at 7, and then I would eat breakfast, my first meal of the day, at 8. And then I went from doing the same thing, but only with a bulletproof coffee. I was no longer ingesting food, but I was drinking my calories, MCT oil, coconut oil, butter, whatever. I was doing a bulletproof coffee. I slowly transitioned off of bulletproof coffee to black coffee. So I just drink black coffee now. And then, of course, I take my electrolytes in the morning and my Soleil water. Once I did that, I comfortably was fasting to 16 hours. And then 18 hours. So 18 to 19 hours is normal for me now. Like, I don't have any adverse side effects. I don't feel over hungry. I don't feel like I'm starving. It's a very comfortable, good morning, Darlene. It's a very comfortable hunger. It's nothing that I feel stressed out or anxious that I'm not eating. So then, I've been trying these 24-hour fast, and it's not working because what's happening is I'm hitting that 19th hour, and my blood sugar, yesterday, you could see it on my Princess Ninja page. Yesterday, my blood sugar went from 93. This is all within a span of 2 hours. It went from 93 to 90 to 85 to 83, and then when it hit the 76 mark is when I started feeling shaky, cold, clammy, lightheaded. I had a massive headache by the time that came. So I didn't make my 24 hours, but I did lengthen my longest fast time by 1 hour and 23 minutes, which I think is pretty impressive considering I only tried to do my first 24-hour fast just a few weeks ago. So, yes, that's Darlene. So let's get into today. So I'm anxious today. I have a cardiologist appointment, and two of the concerns that I need to address with the doctor is number one, why? Because they never really gave me a great explanation as to why they said to tone down my cardio activity and to watch my heart rate. They never gave me a thorough explanation, explained to me why. And so it's a little scary knowing they can see what's happening in my heart at all times with the pacemaker. It's a little scary to think that maybe something, dangerous was going on. So I'm going to ask him about that. I'm going to ask him if I can restart a cardio, and I need to know why having a heart rate above whatever it was is dangerous for me, and if there's something that I can do to build back up to that. The second thing that I need to talk to my cardiologist today about is the fact that climbing stairs. You guys know I can walk for days. Let me go ahead while I'm talking about this, though, because I don't want this to be a super long video. Okay, so I finally broke down. I'm going to skip around. I'm going to get back to the cardiologist. I finally broke down and bought now I don't sell this. There's no affiliate link or anything. The reason why is because I wanted a place where I could just do all my electrolytes all at once. Come to find out, I'm really not doing that. That's how small the scoop is. Let me show you. So this is 1 teaspoon. This is the scoop. So it's really a tiny scoop. See the difference? It's really tiny. So this comes with 45 servings, but in 16 ounces of water. Comes with 45 servings, and you get 75 milligrams of calcium, 120 milligrams of magnesium, 15 milligrams of chloride, 10 milligrams of sodium, and 1,000 milligrams of potassium. So I'll be right back. One of my issues with the potassium, and I love avocados, but avocados are not always in season. So sometimes you go to the store for 3 or 4 months out of the year and the avocados are not. So then you can get processed guacamole, but I'm trying to cut processed foods out of my life. So I'm not judging you if you eat processed guacamole. I'm just saying for myself. So anyway, let me explain what this is. So this is Soleil water because 10 milligrams of sodium is not going to cut it for me. So I have my Soleil water. I'm going to pour right there, and Dr. Eric Berg's electrolyte powder. And what I'm doing all at once here, I'm taking care of my potassium needs. Now, on a day that I don't purposefully take potassium, I usually end up somewhere around 1,500 milligrams and 2,000. And we need much more than that. And if I don't take Soleil water, I only end up with about 1,200 milligrams of sodium because I don't typically salt my food and I don't eat processed food, which cuts out a lot of hidden salt. So, and then of course, you guys have seen this. I take my Keto daily vitamin. Of course, since I've been taking the electrolyte powder, I'm only taking 1 in the morning and 1 at night versus 3 a day. I'm taking the alpha lipoic acid, and what that does is it's actually one of the only things that has a blood to brain barrier where it can take heavy metals out of your, but you need to talk to your doctor before you start taking that. And then of course I have my Super B complex with vitamin C, which I need to get more of, and down the hatch. This is my morning routine. Ta-da. And it's done. That's it. So let me tell you a little bit about this taste. This is a raspberry lemonade. It has no sugar in it. I'm going to talk about my cardiologist. I haven't forgot. But let me tell you what's in here. Citric acid and dryas. I have no idea what that is. Natural lemonade. Raspberry flavor. Malic acid. Stevia Reba 98, so it's got stevia, and concentrates is the name for concentrated ionic trace minerals from the Great Salt Lake and is a registered trademark of Trace Minerals Research. So in that one little scoopful, you are getting almost, I mean, assuming that you eat a decent ketogenic diet and you at least do 1 or 2 servings of vegetables, green leafy, you're going to end up hitting about 2,000 milligrams of potassium. Electrolytes are so important. So if I didn't take any other vitamins, I would take this Soleil water, electrolyte powder, and then I would get a good probiotic. But one of the things that I love about this keto is it has probiotic in it. So that's one of the reasons that I take that. And then of course the vitamin B supplement and the vitamin C. Okay, so let's get back down to business. Back to my vitamin coffee. So one of the concerns that I have that I'm going to the cardiologist today, which has been kind of scary for me, is I can walk for days, and some days I'm walking. Like as I'm standing here talking to you right now, my heart rate's only at 80 beats a minute. So I can do this for about 15 or 20 minutes and I'm okay. But then I start feeling winded. I start feeling like I'm out of breath. Good morning, Sheena. Did I miss you? Morning, pumpkin. So I start feeling like I'm out of breath. I start feeling lightheaded. Anyway, what I have noticed this last 6 months, and it's progressively getting worse, is trying to climb up stairs. Now, in some of my earlier videos, you can see that I used to go to work and do 25 flights a day. Just 25 flights of stairs. No problem. While I was doing a YouTube video, I could not do that now. What's happening is about the time I go up about the 10th or 11th step, my legs feel like they weigh 200 pounds apiece. It feels like there's weights tied to my legs. I feel pressure in my chest, like I can't breathe, like I'm gasping for air. And even when I am breathing, it does not feel like I'm getting oxygen. By the time I hit the top of the stairs, I have like a throbbing in my head, like a headache, like I'm not getting enough oxygen. And I feel tingly in my fingertips, which is a sign of lack of blood flow, like lack of circulation. I did have a heart catheter 4 years ago, which indicated that I did have an atrial blockage. It was at about 30-40%. They won't do anything for that until it's about 70% anyway. So I am going to have them take a look at that, and maybe I maybe think that because it's kind of crazy. I mean, my heart, the condition that I have means that I have a slow heart rate almost all the time. They actually had to put a setting in this pacemaker to make my heart say, hey, she's up, she's moving, you need to start going, because this is a smart pacemaker. Because what was happening is if I sat down for more than 15 minutes, my pacemaker says, okay, she's sleeping. So it would allow my heart rate to go down, and my heart rate was just falling into the 50s. And so then they bumped it up from 50 to 55, and I was still feeling tired, lethargic. Please understand that if you're a marathon runner, if you're young, there are people that can walk around with a 50 heart rate and they're fine. But if you're symptomatic, then it's a problem. And my heart rate wasn't always 50 beats a minute rested. You can go back to my Holter monitor. So 11 years ago, I had a Holter monitor. I had to wear it for 30 days. My rested heart rate was in about 65, 63-ish. And then the last recorder that I had to record my heart before my pacemaker, my rested heart rate was as low as 43. And then at night when I was sleeping, it was dropping into the 30s. So my heart's trying to stop, people. It gets a little frightening. But I'm just concerned about climbing stairs. So more than likely, though, if I tell him that, he's not going to want me to exercise. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep shooting for that 24-hour fast, 1 day a week. The rest of the week, I'm going to do 18-6. I'm going to do 18-6 with at least one high-calorie refeed every week. Like one day, pick one day to do 22 to 2,500 calories. All keto. When I say a refeed, I'm not talking about chocolate cake and Ben & Jerry's, right? I wouldn't buy Ben & Jerry's now anyway. But anyway, I'm not talking about eating a bag of chips and eating, there's something else that I was going to talk about during the shopping video, and I'm going to address at the end of this video just because it's bothering me. It's heavy on my heart, and I'm just going to nip it right in the butt. Okay, so today's lunch. Do you know that nuts are full of magnesium? So what I have here is a 1/4 cup. I measure it out. I have a 1/4 cup of mixed nuts. I have some almonds, some cashews, some pecans, and Brazilian nuts, which are my favorite. I love Brazilian nuts. I can sit there and eat a whole can of Brazilian nuts by myself. Same thing with macadamia. I have some extra spicy hot jalapeno cheese. Oh, did you? How was that, Deb? Did they find out what was going on? I have 2 hard-boiled eggs. I have some colossal olives, and then this really delicious, yummy baby spring mixed salad with peppers, cucumbers, and celery. And for dressing, I'm packing some ranch. So this is my lunch for today. Yesterday, like I said, I did 22 hours and 23 minutes fasted. So there's my lunch today. Plenty of greens. I've got 2 servings of green leafy vegetables. I have my eggs, which is a source of protein, cheese, which is a source of protein and fat, ranch dressing, which is fat, and some healthy nuts. But, nuts are really not ketogenic. I mean, they're not supposed to be like a go-to thing. Yeah, I was excited. You go to the cardiologist on the 20th. Well, I'll be keeping you in my prayers. I'm headed there in a little bit today. Let me get some steps in. And I'll show you guys. You guys want to see my house? Have you ever seen my, I know some of you, I know you guys have seen my kitchen. But in case there's any new people that haven't seen it. Okay, this is, I'll show you some new things that maybe you didn't see before. So this here is my Miracle Grow aquaponics. So this is my tomato plant. Oh, you know what? Let me show you. So I have this, that tomato plant is 6 years old, or I mean 6 months old. So I planted it 6 months ago. Let me show you this. Do you see these tomatoes? These came off my tomato plant that I grow right in my kitchen. So I grow these beautiful little tomatoes, these heirloom tomatoes. I grow them right in my own kitchen. I'll show you. It usually produces about 6 to 10 tomatoes. See, I got some new ones on here. And then you can see all of the flowers. See all the little yellow flowers that I have everywhere? Those are all going to be tomatoes. And so I grow my own tomatoes. That's healthy. I've grown all kinds of stuff in that thing though. I did a full herb garden. That was great. It made the best basil ever. It made a spicy basil too. It was like, muy caliente. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, let me go say hi. Let's go say hi to the fur babies. Let's say hi to the fur babies. They're over here on their couch. This is Karma and Calypso. You guys say hi. Say hi, Carmen. Wait. Say hi. They're both wanting to give mommy kisses. Look at the wiggle butts. Look at the wiggle butts. Wiggle butts. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle. Wiggle butts. Wiggles. Okay. So enough of that adorableness. So anyway, I still have, oh, wait till you guys see it. I got a new Christmas backdrop coming for my channel. Yes, I love them. They need a bath though. They don't smell great. So this is my Thanksgiving backdrop, and I just ordered my Christmas backdrop. It's supposed to be here this week. So I'm going to be doing my 6-month keto update this weekend. You're going to see that. You're going to be blown away with how great I've done this month. Look at that. Gosh, that's so beautiful. That looks like real sunshine. But anyway, so this is my Thanksgiving and fall backdrop. So I'll be using this in one more video since it's technically still Thanksgiving time. And then my 7-month keto in all of December, I will be putting up my Christmas backdrop. And you guys will have that behind me in the video. This is a mess. This is my office. This is my messy, messy office. It's also where I keep some of my lighting for my videos. Of course, my camera stand. That is my hubby's inversion table. I don't like it. It hurts me. It hurts my hips. It really hurts my hips. So, I don't know. You guys have already seen plenty of my bedroom and bathroom, and I'm not going to show you my messy garage until we get ready to clean that. This is the spare bedroom. This is the next project of mine. My daughter, oh crap, what is behind my door? So my daughter Elizabeth, who was in the big bedroom, this is the small spare bedroom. See, it's really tiny. And this bed is almost, see how cramped it is? This bed is almost too big for this tiny little room. So this is going to be a whole new YouTube series for me. I'm going to be converting this and making this my YouTube studio. But I've got to wait until Elizabeth gets all her stuff out of her room, which it's a mess, but I'll show you anyway. She's coming to stay and babysit the dogs while we're on our cruise. So I've got to move. She's going to move. While she's here, she's going to pack up her stuff as much as she can. We're going to move some of the bigger pieces of furniture into, but this is Elizabeth's room, which is huge. It's a big room. It's messy. It's a teenager's room, but it's big and it has a bigger closet and it's just got more space, period. Um, but we're going to do things like put her makeup vanity in the closet. We're going to pack up her stuff and I'm going to break down her bed. And I'm going to move the big bed into here because for my studio, I'm going to just get like a futon. To put in there because I need a full wall. I actually have a backdrop holder. It's like this big rack. So I want to be able to put that up and hang all of my backdrops and then just pick out whatever backdrop I want to use for whatever video. And it's just going to be so much easier. Right now I'm using this wall. I normally have this big painting here that's behind my little stand. I normally have that painting up there on the wall, but this is the best place for me to do videos because at the time of day that I do my recorded videos, the sunlight's coming through the stained glass and it just gives so many different pretty colors, you know, of light. But to be honest with you, I could stand here like this. You would not know that this was not professionally recorded. You would not. And that is a beautiful backdrop. I love these backdrops. They're by a company called Kate, Kate. I find them on both YouTube, Amazon, and on eBay. So that's about it. Oh, and the cat's getting a workout. The cat's on the elliptical. That's Yoda. Yoda, you want to say hi? Yoda. Yoda. This is my Yoda. The pretty kitty. She is called a tortoise shell. She's got multiple colors in her. She's a brat. She's about 8 years old, 9 years old. She's getting up there. She's got some arthritis issues in her hips. So she gets a little sensitive when you pet her on the back. Anyway, guys, I can't think of other than nervous energy, and I would sit here and talk forever. I really have to start getting myself mentally prepared because no matter, thank you, Sheena. Thank you. I know I love the backdrops. I now have 4 or 5 backdrops. So one of the other ways, so if I never go anywhere with this YouTube, if I never hit 1,000 subscribers, if I never make money, if I never do that, plan B is that I'm going to, when I retire, I'll open up a portrait studio and I'll do portraits. So if nothing else, it would be nice to be able to do my grandchildren. Think about how amazing my grandkids' photos will look. So I'm really, actually, it's one of my hobbies that I'm very good at is photography. So if you're my friend on Facebook, you've seen my photo albums. You know I take a lot of pictures. Anyway, about the, oh, blah, 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 blah. I was going to go again, wasn't I? Okay, so this might be a little controversial. So if you get upset even by the mention of God, then I suggest you check out now because I'm going to talk about that. I'm not preaching, but I want to tell you a little bit about something that another YouTuber was actually talking about how the ketogenic diet, any diet, actually they said any diet that deprives yourself of food is a diet against God. I cannot tell you how disturbing that comment to me was. Because not are you only assuming and you are basically telling anyone that's not following your way of life that they're not following a Christian diet. Well, let me tell you how I feel about that comment. Number one, I don't remember anywhere in the Bible there being any talk about fast food or pizza or Fritos, Funyuns, cereal. I'm sure that they were quite inventive and they found ways to eat. Yes, they did eat grains. Absolutely, they ate grains in biblical times. But I don't believe that there was McDonald's or Burger King or. So for you to come on YouTube and to shame anyone who does any kind of restriction as not trusting in God and not being godly, well, aren't you doing the same thing? Just food for thought? Food for thought. So back in the day, let's go biblical. Back in the day, what did they have? Their main source of protein was fish. Yes, eggs. They ate some meat, but it was farm-raised animals. Let's see, on keto, let's see, what do we eat on keto? We eat vegetables. God created that. God did not create the genetically modified vegetables, but he created a version of vegetables which men converted into something else. Let's see, there were oils around there. They talk about anointing. They talk about oils in the Bible. They do. They talk about incense and myrrh. I'm pretty sure they probably had seasonings. I'm not sure about the history of like basil or parsley or anything like that. But cow. Let's see. I eat beef on keto, so there's cow, and then I also eat a little bit of pork. Not much. Pork is maybe a one time a week thing. Not even that. But I do eat pork, so that comes from a pig. I'm pretty sure God created that. Chickens and eggs. I eat a lot of chicken, eat a lot of eggs. What came first, though? That is still a question that'll go down as the most argued question ever. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I eat both. I'm pretty sure God created that too. I drink water, lots of water. So I'm pretty sure that's God. That's God. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Because I don't think I could live without water. I don't. I think I would get very thirsty. But I can live without McDonald's, and I can live without Funyuns, and I can live without Doritos because none of those came from God. None of them. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Corn is actually genetically modified because it is not very drought tolerant and it's not very insect tolerant. It has been modified from the original version so many times that the DNA structure doesn't even probably resemble what it originally looked like. Alcohol, let's talk about alcohol. Now, Jesus made wine, but I wouldn't recommend that an alcoholic drink wine just because God made it. I mean, for goodness sakes, he turned water into wine. But I wouldn't recommend or tell you that if you did not drink wine, that you're not being godly. Well, sure, you're an alcoholic, but it must mean that you don't trust in God to not drink wine. Okay, so here's what I'm getting to without being really freaking sarcastic because I'm getting upset and I don't want to do that. You do your diet. You do what works for you. You be proud of what you do. And if you are 100% convicted in whatever program you're following, but don't tear down millions of other people just doing their own thing. Because let me tell you something. I was able to lose 15 pounds doing vegan, Mediterranean, and vegetarian over a period of 1.5 years. I was able to lose 15 pounds, but that did not correct my blood sugar issues. Eating bread because God created the original ingredients for bread. Actually, men created wheat. But anyway, the claim that depriving yourself is not Christian is absolutely freaking ridiculous. And let me tell you what it is in my own opinion. By you being on a diet that allows you to eat everything you want to eat anytime you want it shows absolutely no freaking restraint. And for you to go on a video and to accuse someone that you know is a Christian of not being a Christian or not being godly because they're cutting things out of their diet that God created is absolutely insane. God created a lot of things on this. God created poison ivy. Why don't go pick off a leaf? Have yourself a snack. What about an alcoholic? God created grains, hops, barley. Why don't we send them to the bar for a beer? I mean, all of the ingredients in beer is from God, right? Why don't we do that? Pot, hey, pot is made by God. Why don't you just roll your kid up a joint? Let's get them high. Why not? God made it, right? So let's consume it. Keto is a very strict way of living. I'm not saying that I'm punishing myself strict. I'm saying that yes, in order to follow a true ketogenic way of life, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. But you know what? Most of us don't get here because we're skinny, we're fit, and we're healthy. Most of us come to the ketogenic way of life when there's absolutely nothing left and we have tried everything else. And for someone to sit there and tell me that my diet is not a diet of God and that I am not Christian because I'm doing keto and I'm not following their diet is absolutely the biggest pile of bull crap I have ever stepped in my life. No, I've stepped in bigger. But for dramatic effect, we're going to leave that statement right there. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. And I'm glad that you guys in this room believe the same thing that I do, and that it's absolutely ridiculous for you to go tear down someone. Number one, I have lost. Look at this. Look at this. And this is no bull crap. This is not bull crap. This is no tricks, no filters, no nothing, no me wearing something to make me look thinner. This is all me, and this is what keto is doing for my body, and it's reversed my diabetes, and it's taken me off of metformin, and it's given me health back, and it's giving me hope back, and my joints don't freaking ache all the time. So for you to sit there and tell me, how do you know that keto is not a gift from God to me? How do you know that in that moment that I did that video, I lost my ninja, that Jesus Christ himself didn't come down and speak to my heart and say, Melanie, there's another way? Because the very next day, I jumped into the ketogenic diet and my life has been altered forever. Praise God. Anyway, that's your Motivational Monday. Thank you so much for watching the video. You keep being a ninja. I'm going to keep being a ninja. I'm going to stay on keto. Keep praising Jesus. And y'all have a great week. I'll be back to you later this week. I'll let you know. Oh, maybe I'll do a live later tonight and let you know what the cardiologist says. How would you like that? Would you like that? Do you like it like that? I got to get to walking. Even though by standing here, gosh, I got 39 steps in that big rant. Sorry, I get passionate about that crap when people post crap. And I've tried to let it go for a couple days, but yeah, I had somebody tell me I should be a preacher. I'm not trying to preach. I love y'all. I don't care what diet you're doing. I really don't. I mean, as long as it's something that makes you happy, makes you healthy, works into your life, I'm not judging you. This is a judgment-free zone here. But if you come to me at 200 pounds and you're telling me you're eating Snickers bars every night because you deserve it, I'm probably going to tell you something you don't want to hear. Okay. But anyway, wish me luck. Going to the cardiologist. Going to take my happy self there. So just because I got passionate about that, don't let you think that it ruined my whole day. It really doesn't. It doesn't ruin my day. Bye, Deborah. Bye, Sheena. And bye. Oh, I'm sorry. Who did I forget there? Darlene. Sorry. I'm seeing all these D's. I'm trying to read and do that at the same time. So thank you for coming to my live stream. Comment below, what you think about that whole person saying that if you're depriving yourself, then you're not trusting in the Lord. Because let me tell you, every day I have to pray and I have to give my life to God. Every day I have to say, God, help me heal, help me heal. And He keeps me on keto. So how's that for putting your faith in God? I think it's pretty good. And I'm not plagiarizing somebody else's diet book on YouTube every day. So there's that. Anyway, I'm being petty, so I gotta go now. I'm gonna sign off before any more negativity falls onto this video. You guys have a great day. Love you.